All right, folks, we're back with another episode of the Archery Project. I've got myself, Brian, and JR here. What's up, guys?
Good morning. How are you?
Hello.
I'm better now.
Better now. Yeah, it's been a rough week for you.
Dude, it has been an incredible week. So we were in Tennessee. What was it? Not this past weekend, prior weekend.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
2 weeks ago, right, for Total Archery Challenge. And that was quite the ordeal.
Well, we had a great plan going in.
We did. I think we did a really good job.
And then we just had to adjust fire because of everything.
Literally nothing went as well as I thought it was going. It didn't go bad. It was just, I mean, it was wet.
Yeah. Which kind of throws a wrench in everything, especially when you're in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, like box on the lake with no dryer, no washer, I literally had to get in the shower with my clothes on to wash all the mud off.
Yeah. I mean, what do we have, JR? 5 guys?
Yeah, there's 5 of us in a very small little townhouse. Or not even a townhouse.
The pictures were deceiving when I booked it.
Yeah. No, it was nice. I mean, it was nice.
For maybe 3 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. But yeah, so that's what we're talking about today, guys. We're talking about the Total Archery Challenge in Tennessee. We're going to recap it, talk about our experience at the event, because Total Archery events are, regardless of the rain, it was still an awesome time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
We met a lot of really cool people, but Tennessee, the venue was incredible, I would say, especially if it would have been dry. There's that property there was like 18,000 acres.
Ridiculous.
Just super cool, man. But yeah, it was wet to say the least. We stood in water and ankle deep mud, I think, for 3 days.
Just about, yeah. Yeah.
The first day though, we got there and it was like beautiful.
Yeah, perfect. It was awesome.
Setup was that you couldn't ask, as far as a vendor goes, like setup wise, when we got there, it was amazing. We were able to literally drive to our location, unload the truck, build it out, and then drive away. Yep. There was no walking up and down mountains, toting grid and canopies and stuff to build out our little setup.
Yeah.
It was definitely a lot more convenient than PA last year.
It was.
I think with not taking the trailer and running 2 trucks, it made it that much easier. But I think with that setup, it wouldn't have mattered because we could have drove the trailer literally right to where we were and still dropped the gate on the trailer and walked everything out.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. And that's one thing we got to consider now too, like looking at it future wise, how we're going to do our vendor display. Are we going to continue with a 10x10? Are we going to expand on it? Because let's be honest, Total Archery Challenge is the future of archery. In my opinion, it draws more people than any events. And one of the things taking away from this weekend that was big for me was Matthews was there, right? So Matthews, I actually talked to, I think it was Cody the other day. I was talking to him about it. Matthews actually skipped an IBO to go to a Total Archery Challenge, that's huge. I mean, so that just tells you how important, how impactful the Total Archery Challenge is on the archery and bow hunting community and how big it's going to continue to grow, because let's be honest, all brands are on board now. So,
oh yeah. Well, and the brands that are on board are the same guys that have pulled out of ATA. If you notice, those guys have not gone to ATA in the past, 3 years, 4 years?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But now they're going to Total Archery Challenge. This is where they're getting their visibility in my eyes.
Yeah, because you look at it, right? And I mean, JR has been going to him longer than any of us. He knows better than anybody. He was, how many years now have you been going?
4.
So 4 years. And they've been going on longer than that.
Oh, yeah.
And they've grown exponentially over that amount of time. And the cool thing about Total Archery Challenge is, dude, you don't got to be a shooter, man. It's literally, yes, it's challenging, but it's built around drawing in just your everyday bow hunter. Anybody that wants to do archery, that's who it's designed for. And they do a fantastic job. It's a very welcoming community, an event that I think is going to continue to grow.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Because I think this is like the 12th year now that they've been doing Total Archery Challenge.
That sounds right.
And I know the first year I went 4 years ago at Pennsylvania, there was only like 50 vendors. And then when we went last year, it was over 100.
Which is insane.
Yes.
So 4 year or 3 years from that point, and they have over doubled the vendor village size.
That was just for PA, so I can't talk for the other venues, but just for that one alone, for it to grow that much, it's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. And like we say with each of these, if you have not had an opportunity to go, you need to take the time and go to one, because you will thoroughly enjoy yourself. Even like, and I was talking about this with some of the other guys, even if you only shoot the practice range. I mean, the practice range is cool as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 20 targets just on the practice range.
There was more than that, man.
Maybe,
There was
yeah.
like
Like 60.
This one was big.
Yeah. There was a lot of them. If you have any faults in your equipment, you're going to find out really fast.
Yep.
And then if you need to, like, if you have good stuff and you're set up right, that confidence is just going to boost. I mean, those long bomb shots through the woods, angles, this and that and the other is just, I think that's a major benefit, is, the confidence builder.
Yep.
Like, I can make these shots.
Yeah. And another cool aspect with that too is, like, if your stuff is off, you can go to any of the vendors there and they will help you out.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's super helpful, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's and like I said, with that, you bring up a good point with us looking at how we're going to evolve with this thing, because we're currently doing a 10x10 and we can only do so much, and we go and we supported Expedition this past weekend, which was super cool, right? We met one of the owners. Our rep was down there, so we got to interact, help sell some Expedition bows. We go to PA, we're supporting Easton. We'll be running the Easton booth along with our own, but as this thing progresses, I look at it as a great opportunity for us to progress with it as well, and kind of grow our footprint with it, a bigger booth, so that we can offer those things, honestly, an on-site full service shop at some point.
Oh, yeah.
It makes sense.
That's, looking at the guys that have the vices and the presses and because people are going to damage their gear. Just for instance, Kendrick and I went on the very first target of that course, and there was a guy coming up the wrong way. I'm like, man, are you okay? You probably shouldn't go this way. People are shooting down there. He's like, I fell and wrecked my bow. Strings are all off of it, and then he was done. But if you have someone there that can do those things and facilitate that, restring it, check everything, shoot it, run it through paper, make sure everything's right, and then you can possibly go back out on the course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So looking at it, so Tennessee had, how many courses did they have?
I think it was 5.
5.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah.
I thought there was more than that. So the courses were long though.
Oh yeah. They were taking, I think, what was it, the Sitka one? People were taking like 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah. On a good day, I think it was like 4 and then like 6
Yeah.
some of the rain.
Well, it was over 7 miles, I think.
Yeah, it was.
I was hearing between 6 and 8 miles, people were walking on the Sitka course.
Everything gets longer when you're out there. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, it was 12 miles, dude. It was only 3 miles.
Yeah.
It was uphill both ways. Yeah. But we only got to shoot one as a group because it was just chaotic. It was just so wet there, man. Saturday, honestly, was a wash because it had rained literally a wash. It had rained so much, man. And what was crazy about that though, with the amount of weather and rain and hail and winds, there was still, in my eyes, a really good turnout.
Oh, absolutely. It definitely dwindled off Saturday. You could definitely tell with that, but yeah, Friday there was a lot of people. Sunday was a really nice day at Wannabean, and there was still a lot of people out there. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were still people trekking out on the courses on Saturday.
Dude, so I talked to some dudes. I went over to the registration booth, and it was pouring. This was Saturday because I was trying to get us synced up for Sunday so that we could shoot together early in the morning. And I was walking over there and it's pouring down rain. And there's this group of dudes and one of the guys' wives, they're full on rain gear, right? I'm like, oh, are you guys done? They're like, no, we're trying to get on another course. We paid to be here. We're shooting rain or shine. I was like, good on you guys. That's what I like to see.
That's the hardcore guys that are going to go out there and they're going to harvest every year.
They did not care what the weather was doing. They were there to shoot and they were going to shoot.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There was not so many of those on Friday that we encountered.
Yeah. This is true. So funny story, right? So it was me, Brian, JR, and one of our other guys from the shop, Kendrick, who went to kind of run this. And then we had Joey running the camera side of things, but we sent Brian and Kendrick out to go shoot a course on Friday, right?
Yes.
On Friday. So we're like, hey man, it looks like there's a little gap in the weather. Why don't you guys get it so somebody can get an opportunity and go do this, especially Kendrick. It's his first event. I want him to get out and get introduced to this right.
Yeah.
Oh boy, and did he get introduced to it right. So Brian, you got to tell a story about this.
So we go to that we were just picked the shortest course because we knew that the gap was super tiny in the weather. So we go to the front. We talk to one of the fellows. We can only shoot after 1. I think we didn't actually get out to about 2. And I said, hey, he's like, what are you guys trying to shoot? And I was like, whatever course is the shortest. He goes, well, the shuttles aren't running right now.
That should tell you something.
Yeah, because of the weather. He goes, but I'm not telling you can't walk over to the Jack Links course. And I was like, okay. So we took off. And then, like I said, first couple targets, it was okay. The very first one we saw a guy, it was a 62-yard downhill shot. We saw a guy coming up the wrong way because he fell and broke his bow. And then it was just slick getting down, not too bad. And we just met up with another group. And then we got to like target 6 maybe. And then it just opened up. I mean, everything you could think of, they threw at us. It was wind, rain, hail, and there's nowhere to go. There were people coming back the wrong way pretty consistently. One woman had a baby on her back, right, with the rain cover over it. Another woman was with them, and they were just there with this one guy that was shooting. She was not happy at all. And I said something I probably shouldn't have. I was like, well, she doesn't look very happy. And then she was just like drenched, not excited at all. And he was carrying his bow. He's like, I think we can just cut through here. I was like, well, good luck, because it's a mountain. It's literally on a mountain. And then, so we're trying to trek through, but people are still shooting. So when it gets bogged up like that, we tend to, because we're running a booth, just skip. We'll play through. We skipped a couple. We ended up skipping quite a few. Then the rain let up, and we'd shoot one. And we met this one guy. He came like out of the woods from left field. I don't know where he came from. He's like, oh, I missed this one. Thinking that he just skipped the target. So he's by himself. He's going to shoot. He shoots one, wildly misses the target altogether. Shoots another, 2, shoots 5 arrows. He hits it once. Goes down to the target. I go, that's what he meant by he missed this one. He just missed everything. So he grabs, I think he retained 2. He got the one that was in the target and then one that was in the ground. And then he starts coming back up like he's going to shoot it again. I was like, absolutely not. You got to move, bro. So then he left. And then we went to go around to skip target 15, wrong direction. I thought, because you shoot 15 and then you keep going up the mountain to get to 16. Well, we tried to go around, wrong way. So then we met these other guys coming back. They're like, you guys trying to get back? We're like, yeah, we're trying to get back to the trail. And they're like, well, it's definitely not this way. So we went a mile in the wrong direction. And these guys were not in shape, to say the least. So then we're like, okay, I pull out Onyx. I was like, we can take this trail, which coincidentally said extreme on it, because it was like a mountain bike trail. So it was like, okay, Kendrick and I are in the front trucking along, and I'm running Onyx, and so is one of the other guys. And finally, to get back to the course, and we picked up a few more. I think we had like 8 in our group at this point.
You're just leading the way.
Yes.
Like the light, the beacon in the dark to get people out of there.
No idea where I'm going, but I can look at Onyx and I can tell where the actual venue is, right? One woman, her entire backside is covered in mud. She had gone down at some point and was not having it. There was no talking to this woman either. I tried to lighten the situation, and she was just like, she was the type of woman who would tell a state trooper exactly what was on her mind with her window half rolled down and a Marlboro light sticking out of her mouth.
She wasn't worried about it.
No, she was just going to let us all have it. So I won't tell the one part, but we finally get back up to the trail and find a target. And they're like, oh, yeah, there's a cone. What number is that? I go, 16. They're like, what the?
We've got 10 to go.
Yeah, they were completely just like deflated. The girls that were with us were cussing. But it was the Sasquatch. Everyone wanted to shoot the Sasquatch. So as soon as the group that was on 16 moves forward, the fog sets in. And it's like, holy crap. Like you can't, it's a 74-yard, 75-yard shot. And this thing's huge. I mean, we have one. It's like 9 foot tall.
Yeah, it's enormous.
You can't see it. We know where it's kind of at. So we just let them sing. And then luckily we all hit the target. And then I was like, all right, guys, this is it. Kendrick, because at this point, him and I have made a bond. We've been through everything that they can.
You've experienced life at this point,
and the only thing we could do is laugh about it. because we were probably 3-4 miles in, and you can't go backwards because if people are still shooting, you don't want to get in the way of the targets because a lot of them you have to pull and move.
Right.
So we're like, okay, let's just follow the trail. We got the map. We're looking at all these targets. People are still shooting, and it was dark, but it was only like 5 o'clock. I mean, you guys were in the truck. The only one that had service was JR was texting me. It's like, are you guys alive? Like, we were trying to get back.
Yeah.
We only shot 9 targets total.
Out of
25.
Yeah. Impressive.
In like 4 hours.
Dude, and that's the thing. Like me and JR at the booth, we're like, dude, everyone's gone. We're like the only booth left. It's pouring down rain and we're down 2 dudes. How long do we wait till we send out like a search and rescue squad to go find these guys?
Oh, I'm pretty good at that stuff.
Well, I know, but we were getting hungry.
That was what it was.
Hurry up.
Hurry up. We're starving. It's
so funny, man. Cause I was like, oh man, Kendrick's going to have such a good time. He's going to get to shoot this course. Sorry, Kendrick.
Well, and the woman that was covered in mud, when we were giggling and laughing about when the fog came in, she's like, I don't know what you guys are laughing at. We're like, what are you going to do?
Right.
At this point, there's no point. You thought I was going to be mad.
So that was my thing. I told JR, I was like, damn, dude. I was like, Bryan is going to be so mad, that he's out there and dealing with this. And you came back chipper as can be, man. I mean, you and Kendrick both. I was like, oh, thank God.
I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah. This is true.
I've definitely been through worse. I mean, it wasn't fun. I mean, it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But then looking at everyone else in misery was like,
even better.
Yeah. Because it's like, I mean, guys, what are you going to do? You be mad as you want.
Right.
Go back. You're making a decision to stay out here at this point. Whether it's your group or whatever. And then one of the groups, the husband got in one of the side-by-sides from the Total Archery guys and didn't take his phone. So his wife was still out there with the group and was like, this MFer. And she was like not happy. So, because he went to go, I don't know what he was doing, but he dropped all his stuff off, came back with the guy in the side-by-side and was like, hey, do you maybe want to get in here with him and ride back?
Oh, man. Dude, they're no longer together.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Oh, my gosh. It was hilarious. So just things like that were just constantly happening. We met some really great people that came by the booth multiple times. It's just enduring the suck.
That's it, man. That's part of it. But that's the cool thing about it, right? It's the Total Archery Challenge. I mean, if you pay to go that and you take the time to make the drive, like it took us 12 hours to get there. I mean, what's a little bit of rain, man? I mean, it's all for a fun experience.
Sure.
Let's be realistic. I mean, you get to put your gear through hell, test it, check it, try it, and see if it works, man.
So lightning was the only thing that will stop.
That was super sketchy because there was a lot of lightning.
Yeah, it got really close.
Yes.
But I mean, like I said, we were so far in the course, and some of them were like sheer cliff faces. You're not going over that. You have to just follow the trail and keep going through the course.
Right.
But if I'm in a hunting scenario, like I did it last year when I harvested that 9-pointer, it was pouring rain, wind, hail, and that's when I went out. Because I knew as soon as it let up, that animal was going to move. But it's not going to stop me from hunting. So I was like, well, if we get hit, we get hit. May as well figure out when we need to add a yard because all of our gear's wet. Maybe 2.
You really push yourself to the limit. So what's my capability when the things like this are happening? How long can I endure it? How good is my gear? Is my rain gear worth anything? Which you guys didn't have rain gear, so you couldn't attest to that.
Yeah.
But again, that's a great thing too. When it's raining like that, do I need to add or remove from my sight tape? Shooting in the wind, stuff like that. I mean, it's just a good way to really test yourself and then become even more familiar with your equipment.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. And if I found out very rapidly that I did not have to add a yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's honestly really surprising.
Well, and it's, if you're shooting downhill, uphill, those things you may, and JR can attest to this because we asked him, or I did, hey, did you add a yard? Did you take a yard away? Because of the terrain and then, shooting over gaps like ravines and things like that. But the rain really, to my surprise, did not.
Arrow cut like a knife.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Those little 4-mils fly good, dude.
They're amazing.
Yeah. So that's one of the things. What's the great about the 4-mil, man? Less surface area, less wind drift, less drag. I mean, like little darts.
It's
shoot them through the water.
Well, I don't. Yeah, light water.
Light water.
Yeah.
A little bit. So funny thing about this event too is, we're big on preparation, right? So big on being prepared for whatever you're going into, like as you should be, especially if you're going off, and you're going on any kind of back country, a couple days out in the woods. Be prepared, have everything you need. Guess what? We weren't prepared. So we spent a lot of time and a lot of money at Walmart because I didn't bring my rain gear, which I knew I should, but I was so last minute packing. I was like, I'll figure it out.
You literally, because I stayed at your place the night before because my drive is so far. You were packing that night.
Yeah, dude, my week leading
right
up
after
to that,
dinner.
Yes, I was too. My week leading up to that was just busy, and I just kept putting it off, and it was time to go. And I was like, well, I guess I better pack my stuff and go. And I did. I packed my bag that night, and I couldn't find my rain jacket. And the other thing too is, going to Total Archery Challenge, you need good footwear. I had to buy shoes the day before because my boots blew out the weekend prior. And then,
first of all, here let's rewind a little bit. How long have you had those boots?
So I wear stuff until it is no longer wearable.
It has been unserviceable for probably the last year and a half that I've known you.
Well, they haven't had insoles in a year and a half. I can assure that.
Yeah. So let's start there.
Hey man, Salewa boots, they last forever until they don't. They were awesome until they weren't. And yeah.
Shoelaces were literally had pieces tied together in between.
They did.
The eyelets.
They did.
I know.
Listen, man, I have to salvage what I can.
But no surprise to me that those failed.
Yeah, well, So in JR bought crispy boots, what?
3 years ago?
Was it 3 years ago already? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you bought them last year.
No, it was, or maybe 2 years ago. Then.
Okay, so JR got crispy boots before any of us.
Yeah.
And he's preached about them. Like, you wear yours.
All the time.
Yeah.
Out to Colorado, our shoots.
Yep.
Hunting, I wear them all the time.
So I was like, oh man, I need new boots. And so we went to Walmart and we bought cheap rain boots that were $26, which to me, they were great because they did keep my feet dry and we were standing in mud. But we ended up meeting the guys from Crispy while we were there, which super cool dudes. We talked about some stuff and we ended up going over to their booth and me and Brian each, sucked it up and went and bought a pair.
Yeah. So
totally worth it.
Totally worth it. Agreed. Yes. I've heard about them before. JR said something about them when he got them, said how amazing they were, especially trekking through PA, through the mountains. They get phenomenal grip. But I don't like buying things like that online. If I can't touch, feel, hold, try on, XYZ. They had the booth there that they had multiple sizes. Try them on. Was like, as soon as I put my foot in there, it was like, oh, crap.
Which ones did you get?
I got the Thors.
Yep,
Is that what you got?
That's what I got. And then I've got another pair, the Colorados. Those ones I got are insulated.
So it's like a cold weather boot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got $1,000 in boots.
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah.
Because these are not cheap, man. But you get what you pay for, especially when it comes to footwear, which I know to be true. We sell a lot of footwear here, especially to your active duty guys who, going through selection, getting ready to go on deployments. So we sell high end footwear, and that's the constant thing. Like, I can't believe these boots are $200, $300, and it's like, man, these boots are designed, to hold up, to last, and to support you, especially under heavy load, right?
Right.
A lot of dudes carrying rucks. And then the same thing with a hunting boot. You need something to support you under load that's going to last. Durability's got to be there, especially if you're humping out an animal that you've killed, on miles and miles. The last thing you want are hot spots and blisters, which are going to completely ruin your experience.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
So,
and the ankle support, I was actually really surprised with. Because they're a low cut boot.
Yeah, right over the ankle.
Yeah, but the support that it gave me, even sidestepping mountains and stuff, was amazing.
It was, because there was like no break-in period on these things either. Like because we put them on and we went and did a course the next day, the prime course, which there was a lot of elevation up and down, very slick, very rocky terrain. And I had no issues whatsoever. I was honestly really impressed.
Yes,
same. I had the same experience. So, because I bought mine at the PA TAC. Yeah, it was 2 years ago, and it was the same thing. I put them on next day, and even the guys that I bought them from, they're a vendor for them, and they even said, there's no break-in period on the boots.
Honestly, very impressed.
Yeah.
So, super cool. But so I want to talk to you guys too about your bow setups. Brian, what is the bow that you shot in JR, are they your hunting bows? Did you do anything different for TAC that you would versus hunting scenario, or did you kind of just run what you would hunt with?
I run what I hunt with. I don't change anything. I have the ability to, with the Spot Hog, the Boonie, I can change the wheel and mess with different arrow weights and everything, but I'd like consistency for me is key above all. If I'm going to be consistent, be confident in the gear that I'm running with at TAC, I'm going to carry that same consistency over into the field, into the woods with me. Cause I know what I can do with that setup in any condition, elevation changes, weather, you name it. I know what that bow is capable of, and it is well beyond my capabilities.
Right.
So I will never outshoot that bow.
Yep. I'm with you. JR, what about you? Are you running same hunting setup, or did you change anything for TAC?
I'm not sure yet this year. Normally I like to run a little bit heavier of an arrow for hunting. So like last year I ran a 450 grain arrow, and then I changed to 540 because I did go to Colorado. So I wanted a heavy arrow for that. I don't have any big trips planned this year, so I don't know if I'm going to stick with that arrow, or I kind of want to play with the FMJ Maxes.
Dude, those things look sharp.
They do.
So I took a picture. Joey, you can take a look at my picture if you want to hire me. It looks amazing.
It does. It does.
It was a good looking picture,
it was
dude.
a good picture.
Yeah.
It must be that new camera.
Dude, no, that's a cinema camera. I don't like this video. I had to use my, quote me, JR or Joey, mirrorless. Bingo, mirrorless camera, not DSLR or whatever.
Yeah, that's
dude,
lame.
Yeah, that's lame. Dude, I don't know my camera stuff. I just got a lot of money in camera stuff, and Joey tells me how to use it. And then I just usually I just hand it over to Joey, and Joey sets it all up and does.
Record.
Sometimes I'll hit the record button for him. Did I do a good job, Joey?
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. But dude, no, the FMJ Max is a sick looking arrow, man. It's got that red where it says Max. It's super sharp looking. I've never been an aluminum arrow guy, but just looking at those, because it's a lighter GPI than the standard FMJ, so you get a little bit, I would assume, a little bit more better performance out of it. Yeah. It's clean looking, dude.
Yeah, it does look good.
It looks sharp, especially with the OD green diamond plate pattern on it. It looks sick. So.
Yeah, and that's half the battle, right? If you don't look good, dude, what are you even doing? Yeah. There's let's be real.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yep. Yeah, so I really want to play around with those, and I'd like to be like a 500 grain arrow, maybe a little bit heavier, just for whitetail if I go somewhere more in the Midwest or something. So
to have that capability. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for me, I ran the Mach 33 for this. I've been shooting the Mach 30. I built this Mach 33 specifically for TAC, and after shooting it, I'm like, dude, this might be the hunting bow this year as well. I do think for the next TAC event, I am going to probably add a back bar, just because I noticed when we were on the mountain, that bow is so light, and I'm only running a short 6 or 8 inch front bar. It really floats in the wind.
Really?
It does.
I remember you saying that, but I could see it visibly. But I wonder if you almost need to just put more weight in the front.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't have a quiver on it, which I'm going to run a quiver on it. I kind of just want to play with what?
So let's talk about this quiver thing and you specifically.
Oh boy.
Completely unprepared. No pocket quiver, no quiver at all. Did he put him in your pack?
Yeah, I was carrying his arrows.
Yeah, he was carrying his arrows.
Yeah.
So
dang, I'm the worst.
Yeah, no rain gear. And then he bought a jacket. I think it was the biggest kid size they make.
Frog Tog, son.
Yeah.
Coming in clutch at Walmart.
And then, so we need to really work on.
Listen, dude, I'm a survivalist. I don't need a lot to survive out there.
Yeah, you just need JR to carry all your stuff.
To carry my stuff. But listen, I was dead set. When we went and shot that course, I was dead set on, I only need one arrow, and I'm going to carry all my stuff in my hand. And I did. Like a champion.
Except for your arrows.
Except for my arrows. But listen, so
see what happened.
To be fair, I only did need one arrow, except for the one where the insert pulled out.
The three of us only needed one arrow.
Exactly. Yeah. So you guys listen, I like to test my limits, and it was do or die, buddy.
It was do or die.
It was do or die.
Yeah.
I was surviving. But yes, back to my story about my bow. So I shot the Mach 33, but I did notice it was with that little bit longer bow, it did seem to float a little bit more than I'd like it to, but it did shoot exceptionally well. I felt like I shot the course really, really well.
Yeah, you shot really good.
And it was a lot of fun, but I think that's the only change that I'll make is I might just try it because I've never really run a back bar. I ran one time on a Venom 33, I think. But I'm going to give it a shot and see if I can get it to hold a little bit more steady for me.
Yeah, the only time I noticed it, though, was when we were on the top of that knoll.
Far side.
Yep, on the 80-yard shot at that super small target.
Yes.
But we were all, because the wind was just cooking up there.
So it was crazy how different it was from, it wasn't even the completely opposite side. It was just around the corner of that peak, and how different the wind was cutting through there, through those trails. And because we noticed, we all shot, I think that one target, we got quite a bit of wind drift, and everybody was like a little bit right on that target.
Oh, yeah.
It seemed
Except for, I think I wasn't as far right, but I was even still holding like almost in front of the animal.
That's right. You held way left on that animal to counter for that. Yeah, there was a hard crosswind there, and it was almost like full value.
Yeah, it didn't come over until it hit the road. I mean, you could watch the trajectory of the arrow. It looked good, and then it just slid off to the right.
Yeah, because that was what
exit ramp.
That was the antelope.
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one was tough. But I shot the Easton 5.0, so I had a decently light arrow. It was 418 grains. But I'll be honest, man, I think I'm going to run that for hunting season and just see how it goes. I mean, typically my arrow weight is like 440, 460 as a hunting arrow. But I mean, the bow shoots so good, and I don't know if I want to mess with anything.
I don't.
Yeah, I mean, that 418 grains, I mean, let's be realistic. It's not going to have any issues punching through an animal here.
Yeah, not here at all. I just lost my train of thought.
There you
go.
Not
with the speed you're getting.
No.
Yeah, right.
Well, and that was the only thing that I might, because the bow is shooting a little bit faster than what I would typically like for a hunting bow. It's shooting right at 298 feet per second. So I typically, lower 290s, mid 280s really shoot good and tune good with a broadhead for me. So the only thing I may do is if I change anything, I may add 25 grains to it instead of running that 50 grains of brass up front. Maybe add that additional 25 to slow it down just a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
That's the only thing I changed this year with my arrow setup. I went from the regular 55 grain half out to the 75 grain half out that Easton makes. And I'm at 480, but I'm still shooting 290.
Yeah. No, that's impressive, man.
Yeah. So, just because I jumped up to 80 pounds, but it's tuning, it's flying. I mean, I feel like I only needed one.
Yeah, dude, I was impressed with my sight tape. I was able to dial. I mean, I can dial all the way out to like 100 and almost 40 yards.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we shot that, what was it, the Moose?
The Moose.
Yeah, the Moose was 120 on the dot, man. Yep. And I was able to dial that, dude. And I mean, that was a poke, but that was such a cool shot for everybody.
Yeah.
Except for Bryan, because he had to walk up.
Hey, wait. I don't have the clearance on that Spot Hog scope is just so big. I mean, I love it.
Yep.
Right, but the scope housing is so big, I don't have the clearance.
You shot like
I think it was 108.
108. So yeah, I mean, let's be realistic. Plenty.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Plenty.
And I'm the only one that center 10 punched that thing.
You did. A little bit of luck.
But you had to move up.
But you had to move up. That's probably why.
That's fine. Because I didn't.
It was the best shot. Let's be real.
8 feet over the back and just risk losing an arrow.
Yeah, I don't blame you, dude. That was the best shot. I mean, he pinwheeled that thing. It was impressive. Luck is on your side. No skill involved.
Whatever you guys want to call it.
And then you also got what was it, the caribou on the practice range?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. So killer story for everybody right here. Extreme Outfitters almost got banned from Total Archery Challenge right out of the gate. Whose fault was that? Was it mine or yours? Whose idea was it?
I'm not pointing any elbows, but I'm gonna say it was not mine.
So it was me. I was the one.
Well, so first of all, we were on the kids' range.
Okay, so to be fair, as JR would say,
to be fair,
we were on the kids' range because the range was so packed. We were shooting over the kids' range, and there was no kids on the kid range. There was someone else on it with us.
Yes.
So it was that guy's fault. There were no kids. We were shooting.
Yeah.
It's fine. And it was honestly a great spot to shoot targets from because, I mean, let's be real. The lanes were perfect.
Yeah. Yes.
Especially for the novelty target.
Yeah. So that was the caribou for the
truck.
For the truck,
yeah.
Right? And there was tape down there, but when we went to pull arrows the first time, it looked like it was just
taped off so you don't shoot it.
No, it was taped off so you didn't go in the mud because it was a swamp back there.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Yep.
So I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I was like, well, let's look at this. Boom. What do we range it at?
It was like 104. Or
yeah, something like that. It's like, all right, well, here. So we're shooting over kids' targets. There were no children on the range.
There were no kids.
It's like 104. Let's let her eat. Boom, 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 boom. And then as soon as we go to pull, the fella came out and he goes, "Attention shooters, whoever is shooting the caribou, do not. It is only for the novelty shoot." So then here we go. Walk of shame.
Because it's a good ways past everything. So everybody stopped pulling their arrows.
88 yards.
And we're continuing to walk alone to grab ours. I was like, maybe we should just leave our arrows here.
No way, because I smoked that thing.
Yeah, you would have been in for sure.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
that
it was very deceiving though, because I was standing where you guys were, and that tape, it's you can kind of see where it's kind of cutting across the vital, but it's not like definitive. Don't shoot at this.
it was welcoming.
Yeah.
Caution tape welcoming.
It was whatever. But so funny. I posted our video or a short or something about us, but didn't almost, get in trouble at Total Archery Challenge. And there were a bunch of other people that chimed in and were like, "Oh, we did the same thing." And someone else was like, "Yeah, that dude was not happy."
Yeah.
He's like, "But can you blame him though, dealing with all of us all weekend long in the rain?" I wouldn't be happy either.
Yeah. It was because the real poke was on the other end.
Yeah, it was like
shooting
111.
diagonal across the whole range. And I guess when they see other people's arrows flying at it, it distracts the real shooters.
Yeah.
Takes away from that. What's the entry for it?
I think it's like $20.
Yeah.
$20 an arrow.
I would be like $40 or $80 in at this point. Whoops.
Yeah, and I would have had one entry.
Yeah. Yeah, you would have, dude.
That's it. I think we
Probably
both
would've.
3 or 4 arrows.
Four arrows.
One was really good.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
One and done, son.
Sign me up.
Sign
Or
me
I
up.
win the truck. Watch.
That would be awesome.
For shooting erroneously. Where did this come from?
Oh, I'm in.
Yep.
Hey, I want to pay after the fact.
Can I do that? We need
No,
to talk to Carter.
you cannot do that. That's the same thing with our novelty shoot, because people are like, "Oh, let me try it," and you're out nothing if you don't hit it.
Sure.
So no, you cannot pay after the fact. You got to pay up front.
Yep.
Same thing with us when we give away our bow every year. Good times.
Yeah.
So it was an awesome event, man. Despite the rain, the hail, everything, it was super fun. We got to meet a lot of really cool people. Again, the networking portion of it is incredible because, like going to ATA and you get to meet all the vendors and stuff. Here, it's very down to earth, very laid back, and you get to go meet and kind of talk with all the guys from behind the brands. So we get to introduce ourselves and, it's super cool. I think the highlight for me of the event were these 3 kids from Georgia that came by. And it's funny, I just sent them out a care package yesterday.
There you go.
So stoked for these guys, man. They came by, but they follow us on our YouTube stuff. And they were just stoked to meet us. But I think we were equally stoked to meet these kids, man, because they're, I think they were like 13, 14, and 15, somewhere around there, and just out there getting after it with their bows, man. And, their dad came up to me. He was like, "I have no idea who you guys are." Yeah. But the kids love your guys' channel and they follow you stuff. So is it cool if they meet? And I was like, "Dude, this is awesome, man." Yeah. So, just those experiences, man, totally make it worth it. And it's cool for me too. It's like, hey, maybe we are having a little bit of a positive impact on this thing and reaching out to people. I mean, especially when we get such a young demographic watching our stuff. And that's why it's so important to me that it's pretty clean.
Yes.
So that kids, families, and stuff like that can sit and watch us on their screen, which is pretty humbling.
Mm-hmm. And they're the future of this
They
sport.
are the future, man.
You know what I mean?
They're
So
important.
The most, yes. And we as a hunting, archery community, we are going to eat our own, all this, you shoot a trad, you shoot a compound, you shoot a crossbow, it doesn't matter as long as we're all doing things ethically. That's what it comes down to, in my opinion. And then teaching and training and mentoring the young guys coming up.
Right.
To make sure that they're doing the right things.
That is it, man. They are the future. I got 3 boys. Like, we've got to give them, they've got to be of some kind of use physically, and have some kind of skill. So what better way than guys getting out, after it with a bow and an arrow.
Oh yeah.
Taking animals, testing their survival skills on a course in the rain.
Yep. We just need JR to carry all our stuff.
Dude, we just need JR. That's our pack mule.
Yeah.
I like it. New name.
New name. Our pack against his will.
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm not going to any more events with you guys. Yeah. He offered.
He did.
He did offer. He's nice. I appreciate you, JR.
You're welcome.
He's good for something, isn't he?
Yeah. It's good for carrying arrows.
He shot really good though.
Yeah,
Let's be real. Like JR, I'm pretty sure it was the most consistent shooter out of any of us.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah. You did good.
that one, the little Bigfoot, you know, that's
Dude, that is a talking point in itself.
Yeah, that was a challenge. I'm surprised nobody lost any arrows.
So when we walked up to that target, I was the first one that got there, and I was looking, I could not find it. But then I saw this tree that looked like a massive deer had rubbed on it. Turns out that tree has been blown up by arrows.
Yeah.
And whenever you finally get out, I pull my binos out to glass it and see it's this little bitty Bigfoot, like
maybe 3 foot tall.
Little
Yeah,
foot.
it was tiny.
Yeah, absolutely tiny. And it's directly behind this tree that has been exploded. So you can only see like 4 to 6 inches.
Well, and it was, how far was it?
It was like 70 something yards,
I think
wasn't
it was 74 yards.
It was a poke across to like a valley.
Yeah.
Super cool shot. But I was totally prepared. I said, this is the one I'm going to lose. I'm losing an arrow on this one because I can't really see.
Same. Yep.
So my strategy with this target was I put my pin on the tree and I just held left. Mm-hmm. And dude, that lower 12 center punch.
Yeah,
son.
you did.
Center punched.
Yeah.
And it worked out perfect, dude. None of us lost an arrow on that.
What was it? Brian, I think it was you. Like you were super close to that tree.
Yeah.
I think you almost skimmed the tree.
Well,
but hey, it didn't mess up your arrow at all, and you made it. And then
nailed it.
I hit a little bit low. I was in the groin area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Bigfoot's.
Yep. He has a real nose for it, that guy.
Yeah, that was a tough one, man. I think they did a really good job on that course. The elevation and terrain, the way they used it into the course was very neat and pretty unique. Like some of we sent Kendrick up to pull arrows on one of them.
Oh yeah,
dude, I thought he was going to be the mountain man and have to live up there because once you got up there, it was very difficult to get down.
Yeah, that was probably the worst one to go pull an arrow for.
That's why we sent Kendrick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Break him in right.
Well, he's taller than us, so he's taking less steps.
I guess if that's what you want to call it.
You know what I mean?
Dude, he was huffing and puffing.
Yeah, he was. Well, there was really no way down.
There wasn't.
Yeah.
If he came down the trail he went up, he would have just been sliding on his back the whole way. And then it was, so he kind of side skirted it, and then it was just cliff face, which was a lot taller than we thought.
Yeah, we're like, just keep going along this way, and then you can go down right here. But
because it only looked like it was 3 foot, but it was like
it was like 8
foot cliff.
Yeah.
At least it's super deceiving terrain whenever you're standing down low and looking up at it. And that's how I can see, honestly, with people in the backcountry really getting in trouble if they're not familiar with that type of terrain because of how deceiving it really is. When you're looking up at it, you're like, oh, dude, easy to scale. Yeah. But you get up to it and you look down, you're like, dude, that's a straight drop that there's no way that I can get down this without a rope.
Right. Yeah. Trekking poles. I mean, we saw people out on the course with trekking poles. Yeah. And if it was not for the mud,
yes,
it would have been 100 million times easier to negotiate everything out there.
Yeah.
So it was just, I mean, some parts of it were just so thick.
Dude.
Yeah. It was, what was it, like target 22 or 23? Like we were standing in a mud puddle.
Sliding.
Yeah, sliding.
Sliding, standing still.
Yeah. Yeah. It really makes for a difficult shot. But one of the things I think about is insurance. I'm like, good God, dude, I couldn't imagine being these guys, what their insurance looks like because the amount of injuries, dude, that's how I think. I'm like, oh my gosh, liability out here is insane because how many people out here, I mean, the potential to get hurt and have trouble getting out is very, very high.
Well, I think that's why you have to sign your waivers at the
beginning. You do,
that
but
none of
still.
us read.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Nobody ever reads that stuff. Nobody reads the fine print.
But think about that though. I mean, one, setting up the course, how difficult that is. I talked to Carter about it. He's like, yeah, we humped them things in, man. Mm-hmm. I'm like, good on you.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yes. Good.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other part, when it was so wet, how they don't just say, hey, we got to close it down just for everybody's safety.
Yeah.
They did, man. They let it run, man. And it turned out good. I think everybody had a really good time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I really, for the most part, did not see anyone with a sour face. Mm-hmm. No. Everyone was still, despite the mud, despite the rain, they were all still smiling, laughing, talking, having a great time, excited to be there. And that's what it's all about, well, that and the youth. It's all about two things.
It's all about everything.
It is. Yeah. Just, that's what I'm about, having a good time.
That's it, man. It was. We, what's cool too is, we're in a different town, 12 hours away from home. And We go to Walmart and there's dude, he's like, hey, shouldn't you guys be making YouTube video? You know, it's crazy to see. That's the great thing about these events is we're able to go connect with the people that follow us and see the stuff that we're doing and, you know, get to shake their hands and meet them, you know, cause we're at Walmart and this dude's like, hey, you guys, you know, we're driving down, we're in traffic in Chattanooga. Where were we at? Or was it Atlanta?
It was Atlanta, I think.
It was Atlanta.
Yeah, I open up our Instagram and there's a picture of us in the truck, you know, stuck in Atlanta traffic, and the dude's like, I seen you guys. Yep. And we're out to dinner. I mean, it's just such a cool community, man, that is very welcoming. And
I sat at another guy's table.
Yeah, you did for a minute.
For when?
That night we met those guys at the restaurant.
Oh, yeah, super cool dudes.
They were all making fun of me. He was like, he's just making himself at home. I sat down and talked with them.
Super cool dudes, man.
Yeah, that was the second night.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. It doesn't matter because we ate at the same restaurant every night.
I'm a creature of habit. Yeah. So we went to Fiona's. What was it called? Philo's Tavern. Dude, that place was delicious.
It was good.
Dude, I had a hamburger every single night. Every single night. Same thing. And dessert.
You know, yes. But you didn't get sick.
I did not get sick.
You get home, eat gas station sushi, and you get sick.
Bro, I did not have gas station sushi. So yeah, this was after, dude. We're supposed to be in West Virginia, on our way to West Virginia right now, and it just didn't happen. It's just been a wild week, and more so on me because I got dude, I've been so sick for the past, I think 5 days. I was worried about driving there and being sick on the way. And I was like, I can't do this, man. And on top of everything else, I mean, it's been a wild week, but yeah, I'm kind of bummed though, because, you know, I'm starting to feel better. I'm on that, you know, getting over everything. And West Virginia is looking like it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I'm a little upset.
I am too, man.
But I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I apologize. You know, it is what it is. We will definitely, we'll be at more next year for sure, but we will definitely be in Pennsylvania in 3 weeks. You have to be at
2
that
weeks.
one. Is it 2 weeks?
Oh yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. So hopefully I need to start packing now.
It's not going to matter.
It's not going to matter. Let's be real.
You're going to forget something.
I didn't forget anything. What did I forget?
Rain gear.
Rain gear. Well, I neglected to bring rain gear.
And boots.
Well, boots, I bought new shoes to go. I bought those Ultras, which are fantastic. But yeah, I did not have boots. So it was perfect. I needed to buy boots. I bought boots at Tennessee. It was perfect. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
Everything works out
in your favor.
In my favor.
For some reason.
I don't
know how it always does.
I create that.
Do you?
Yes, I do. I bring that energy, dude.
Because I forgot stuff. And I packed a week in advance.
That's your problem. See, I'm in the moment.
I will forget everything.
Well,
yeah. I think I was pretty good prepared. I just didn't have rain pants, which whatever. Yeah. I wore my Fjell Raven pants the entire time. And
Fjell Raven coming in clutch. Dude.
They're awesome.
They are awesome. I wore the same ones the entire time.
I did too. Because I'm like, it's going to be raining and stuff. I don't care.
I just hang them up. Because the great thing about the place we stayed too is there was nowhere to hang anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we had to vacuum it ourselves.
Yeah,
just the couch.
The couch.
Oh, yeah,
JR sat down.
Was disgusting.
JR sat in the couch, gets up covered in dog hair.
Not my fault.
Yeah.
No, not by no means.
So I don't care if it's a pet. It says pet friendly. Sure, whatever. We had no preference, right? But that doesn't mean you don't have to clean up.
Right. It's like I've got dogs and stuff, so I don't care. But it was very annoying that my entire back was just covered in dog hair, and I was wearing a black shirt.
It looked good though.
Oh, thanks.
A Wookiee out there. Yeah, it was good though. I mean, we had a good time. We didn't spend a lot of time in the apartment, the shoebox that we stayed in, because we spent all of our time at Total Archery Challenge and Philo's.
Yes.
And Walmart.
You know what though? That town is super cool.
Oh yeah.
Like the whole setting. They had music playing on the speakers on all the light posts. All the seniors that are graduating. I can't imagine there's much more than the ones we saw that were on the banners.
All 12 of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Super cool little setting, cool little town.
Yeah, the movie theater that was right there in the corner, that was like old timey looking, and then they even had it up there for somebody's 50th wedding anniversary.
Oh yeah,
that was
cool.
That was really cool.
Lettering.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah,
nice little hometown.
Yeah, that's the thing about the TAC events too. Is right, they've got to be kind of in remote areas because of how
the distance you need.
Yeah, the amount of land that you need. So you get to go to these cool little towns. Like going to PA was pretty neat. I mean, the drive there. It's very scenic. Tennessee, I thought, was super cool, man. I mean, because everyone was like, oh, there's nowhere really to go. But you go to Winchester, you go 25 minutes outside of
not even
what was the place? Belvedere.
Yeah, Belvedere. Yeah.
25 minutes outside of there, and you're in a cool little town. So lots to see to do, lots to see and do. It was just Total Archery guys. They do a fantastic job, man.
I will say there was a lot of Dollar Generals that we saw.
Dude, that's anywhere, though.
Anywhere,
yeah.
If you go somewhere where there's nothing, there's a Dollar General. Survivors.
Yeah. There was like 4 or 5 like within 10 minutes.
That could be your name, dude. Dollar General.
That's
You
it.
just show up and are ready to go.
Dude, that's my life.
You don't carry anything.
I go
But
hard.
you're ready to
son.
go.
I'm ready to go, dude. I don't require a lot, man. Just enough to get the job done.
Going hard in the yard.
That's it. It's in the paint, JR.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Oh.
I was coached on that.
Go back to carrying stuff.
That's it. Go back. All right, guys. So kind of recap this thing. Total Archery Tennessee was an awesome time. Despite the rain, the guys, Carter and the crew did a fantastic job running the event. We got to meet a lot of really great people. We got to test our gear this year. I mean, that's the thing. It's a little earlier in the season, so you get out there and really push the limits on your gear, which it's fantastic for that. Just an overall good time, man.
Yes, agreed.
Yep.
Good time. So we'll definitely be in Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, we won't be at West Virginia. And I'm looking forward to that. That's a big one. We're going to get to run into a lot of different people. The vendor village is incredible. We'll be there with Easton, running the Easton booth, slinging some Easton arrows, and slinging all kinds of stuff, man. We're looking forward. Hopefully the weather's good for this. I'd like a dry one,
Yes.
but
Well, only the government can change the weather. So I've
it.
already written into my congressman.
I was going to say, put in a good word for us.
Yeah.
But that's it, man. What do you guys got? Anything else? Wrap this thing up.
No, just really excited to have the opportunity to do these things.
Me too.
I can't thank you guys enough for letting me hitch my wagon to yours and bringing all my extra stuff for you guys to use.
That's all Zakk.
You guys are such a huge, help when it comes to stuff. I appreciate you guys taking the time and, out of your guys' busy schedule to come on board and do these things. I love it. I love doing it with you guys. And Brian, thanks for driving your truck down. We took 2 different vehicles this time, which made it so much better versus having to haul my huge trailer. But the big trailer will be in PA for sure.
Yeah.
So all right, guys, we got to go to work. We got to open the store. We're already after overtime and the store's open and we're not out there. So as always, appreciate you guys following along on the archery project. Head over to our website, extremeoutfitters.com, for all of your archery and bow hunting needs. If you ever need anything, hit us up, call us in the shop, and we will see you guys in the next episode.